Hi, this is Todd Mullins. This is the first episode of Sidewalk Salvage. So, what we do here is we find things that people abandoned, not using, have no use for anymore, put them on the curb, and give them a new life by renovating something and making it fresh again. It's a good way to save money, but it's also a good way to be smart about what you're doing with things you discard. I'm starting off first here though with something that's in my own yard, and that is an old wheelbarrow. And I inherited this wheelbarrow when we moved into this house about 7 years ago. This wheelbarrow is probably 25 years old, and it's been a stalwart, and I hate to get rid of it because it's worked so well, but it's falling apart. So let's take a look at project number one, my wheelbarrow. If you try to go find a new wheelbarrow at any of the home improvement stores, you're going to find that they are relatively cheaply made, not terribly interesting. This one's got a particularly deep area to, basically I threw my logs in there, or I moved dirt around, but you can see it's starting to fall apart. Screws are coming undone, the wood is rotting, it's pretty rusty, but that's nothing that a coat of paint couldn't help improve. You can have screws falling off. So we're definitely at our end here. Oh, and I'm getting a phone call. It's my daughter. Hello? Hi, what's going on? I can pick you up. Absolutely. Yeah, I can pick you up. I'm in the middle of working on my wheelbarrow right now. She's excited about it. What? No. All right. I'll come see you soon. Bye. Okay. Bye. Well, we're not going to start this project right now because I need to pick my daughter up, but she's pretty amused that I'm going to be working on this. What I didn't tell you, though, is that I'm going to turn it into something kind of cool. Inspired by World War II airplanes, make an airplane looking thing out of it. We'll be back. Alright, so I've got the wheelbarrow now out in my driveway just to take a look at it. Gone to the store, bought a couple things, bought some paint, bought some new possible handles. They were out of the actual handles that are rounded off on the edges, but I think I can make possibly these. I think I could probably make these work okay. It'll be a little bit different, but it'll be nice enough. So let's take a look. We've got to now get these screws off of all the different places. The wood is all crummy, it's rotted out, and all the screws are pretty well rusted. So that's gonna be the first challenge, is trying to get all that stuff off of there, and may not be that easy since they're all rusted down. But let's give it a go. Put a little silicone in there, see if that'll loosen up the screws. These are the screws coming off of the holder that holds the wheels on. Got my rock and roll Aerosmith going right now too. Sounds good. Then sometimes the screws tend to be a little bit harder than anticipated. And when that happens, you gotta get jiggy with it. Jigsaw, baby. Well, the screws are out now, and revealed the interesting note that this was once a red wheelbarrow. But it hasn't been red for a real long time. In fact, I would have never have guessed that. A little bit of rub where the wheel has been. I may have to try to figure out a way to straighten these guys out, or at least give it a lift so it doesn't rub anymore. But I think I can salvage these pieces that look like they are shim pieces, and I may have to replace some other things. So we're off to round two. Now it'll take some time to sand off the paint, the white paint. It's peeling off anyway, and then I want to repaint these and probably even restain it with something that'll keep the wood good in the elements. But in some case I need to replace some pieces too, so I've got some wood out, some new pieces to replace some of these that are pretty well. So now, this morning I've taken the kettle and I've sanded it down. I've taken the wood pieces, the new wood pieces, and I've applied a nice stain finish to them. Let's take a look where we're at. We've got a nice stain finish here. I'm also using some of the old pieces, which don't quite take the new look so good because they're so old. But I've also created backup new pieces. Maybe I'll use those instead. And then we've been sanding down the wheelbarrow base itself before we give it a paint job. And then some of the wood pieces that are deteriorating that I want to try to salvage, I've sprayed with a wood preserve. It smells terrible, but I think that'll extend the life of the wood. Before too long, we'll make a run to the hardware store. We'll get new hardware and we'll start to put it back together. And now I've got the wheel all prepped and ready to paint. We're going to paint it white, make it fresh. So over time, this wheelbarrow is taking a lot of abuse, and so it's not flat anymore on the bottom, and so the tires rub, and I kind of want to try to fix that. So I've got the mallet, and it's after 10 a.m. on a Sunday, so I think I can start hammering without the neighbors being bothered too much. Let's see how this goes. Okay, enough banging. It's never going to be perfect, but it's a little more level, and we'll get it sanded one more time and we'll start painting. So I sprayed the top edges first, just so I can get a little bit of a line across the top. Now I'm going to go ahead and paint the whole kettle and let it dry, then hit the hardware store. Now the fun part. I've got the kettle painted black, I've got the wood all fixed up, and now we decorate this. It's not just going to be a regular old black wheelbarrow. We're going to decorate it up, putting some eyeballs on it. We're going to mask that off on both sides. This design is inspired by World War II fighter jets. We're going to put a mouth on it. This is going to look cool. It's going to look badass. The fighter wheelbarrow. So I'm masking this off right now. Put an eye on there. I'm going to paint that up. But while I was down here, a squirrel in the tree pissed on me. A little bit there. A little bit there. All right, we're getting it back together. I put the pieces, the boards back together. Putting the stand back on there. All the screws are going in, all brand new. I got the right size too, so they don't stick out too far. Now the next challenge will be getting this wheel back on. And then we'll flip it over. In terms of the artwork, we're going to hand paint the finish on that, and that's going to look very cool. Very cool, a one of a kind wheelbarrow. Well, here's looking at you. Now I told you what I wanted to do. I wanted to make a face on here, and so what I did is I started to chalk out an outline after I painted the red to give this thing a little bit of a mouth. Now I'm taking some white paint and I'm just drawing along the edge of where I chalked. And what do you get? One mean looking wheelbarrow. So that's what I'm working on tonight. This is the finishing touches.